Chag Sameach, everyone. One of the things that we were said to have lost during the pandemic, according to an article that I remember really resonating with a couple of years ago, was this idea of collective effervescence. Did anybody read this New York Times article once upon a time? We've lost so many things since then that you've probably forgotten that you lost collective effervescence. But I want to remind you that you have, in fact, lost this particular thing, which is the experience of having collective, large-scale, a communal sense of togetherness. And collective effervescence, according to this article at the time, was something that you might have gotten at concerts or at large gatherings, and when we were in isolation, it was obvious that we were missing that. But in many ways, we have not really gotten back to a place of collective effervescence. And the reason isn't simply that we don't gather anymore. We do gather. But we've been left with a sense of not having unity. And that disunity might have always been present. But right now, the sort of master story that we tell of our time is of one of being disconnected from one another, in disagreement with each other, and not really able to overcome that disagreement in order to have these really vital collective experiences. And I was thinking of that this morning as we read Shirat Hayam, which really could be read as this intense moment of the people having a collective experience. If nothing else, Shirat Hayam is a moment of overflowing communal emotion where the people are all in agreement that something absolutely miraculous has taken place. And some of what we're up against for ourselves in this day and age is not really being able to agree on what exactly is going on and what exactly needs to be done about it. And I just wanted to take a moment this morning to acknowledge how hard it is to overcome that and get to a place of collectivity. If the work is to all be able to have the same script when we speak together, we are very far from that place. So in Mishnah, there's a debate actually between Rabbi Akiva and Reb Nehemiah. And this is in Mishnah Sota. And Rabbi Akiva says, when it says that then sang Moshe and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, saying, when it says saying, that must mean that this was a call and response way of speaking the song of the sea. And Reb Nehemiah comes and says, no, it wasn't call and response. It was just like we say the Shema. It was all together at one time, not call and response at all, but collectively singing along this one song. The difference between these two paradigms, one call and response and one where we say the same thing collectively, is actually, worlds apart. Because in the scenario where we all speak collectively, we would all have to know the words that we're saying. And in the call and response scenario that Akiva imagines, the people are being fed the lines and they are able to recite them. They're able to follow along and they're able to get to this collective experience through being given the words to say. I think that we could sit and parse what the value is of each of these versions. There is an incredible value of being in a collective space where you don't have to feed people the lines, we just agree. We're all able to kind of generate a collective experience that we agree upon, and there's no one in the room who doesn't know how to sing the same song. In the other paradigm, though, we actually get to have a collective experience from very different places. We, as it says actually in our Eitz Chaim today, get to have a people who connect to God wherever they are coming from in their lives. They all get to sing this song at the sea. I think about this Torah a lot in this day and age where there's so much rupture within the Jewish people. And we can really look at any part of the Jewish world right now, We could look as micro as hostage families disagreeing over what needs to be done in this very moment in war vis-a-vis their loved ones. We can look at the whole country of Israel, which is notoriously in disagreement over what should be done. And we can look at our own American Jewish community, where campuses are roiling with all of this disagreement. And as much as it's hard to understand and admit, there are Jewish students on both sides of these protests. How do we sing a collective song in this moment? What does it even mean to stand up and sing Shirat Hayam and have it yield a collective experience where we all feel seen by our text, seen by one another, and like we're all praying for the same thing? In our Lev Shalem, there's a comment on this moment, and we review the Song of the Sea every single morning. It's part of our daily prayer. We're told that we should remember the Exodus every single day. It's incumbent upon us. And in one of the comments on that in our Lev Shalem Siddur, it says, call and response demands both inward and outward participation. We first participate inwardly, listening to the leader's voice as it interprets the words. We then respond outwardly, assenting to it and building on what we've heard. But even as we raise our voices in song, we continue to listen, to hear the voices around us, so that our communal response is harmonious and the sound of the song is full. We hear and are heard, careful not to overwhelm one another, ensuring that even the smallest voice is not drowned out. As the leader evokes our song, so too do each of us affirm and amplify each other's voice. It's from Michael Bueno. What a beautiful vision of being able to sing a collective song, and in the singing be able to hear one another, the unique voice that each person is working to produce into that space that we share. This is a painful moment that we're in. I long for the collective effervescence, the clarity of being able to sing the same song together. And I think that in some ways, this moment demands that those who are ready to sing together do so, but the call and response is there for us to remember that there are others who we might hope to carry along with us as we sing, that the instruction that we offer when we lead with our voices, but are still willing to listen and hear the different chords among us, that's our work as a Jewish people right now. And so, I can't tell you, I know it's a small crowd today, but this is a mighty crowd, the people who come out in the diaspora for seventh day Chag, it's not Yizkor, and it's beautiful. It is a force of strength in each of our lives that we come together to sing this song, and I hope that you take it with you today and know the power of continuing to sing our song as a people. Thank you.